What is up, everybody? It is Monday, which means it is Cover 2 coming at you with our weekly episode. And the 49ers get it done in Philly. I'm sure this man's stream was going crazy, especially at the end. Coach, how you doing, my guy?
I'm feeling legendary. Hey, Jess, who's got it better than us? Who's got it better than us?
Did you know, I think it was last week was like the 14-year anniversary to when we hired him, or 15-year anniversary to when we hired him. It's been that long. That's so crazy for Harbaugh,
man.
when we hired Harbaugh, man.
Yeah, it's been I can't think of a season that maybe 2019, because we just weren't expecting them to be this good. Right?
Yeah.
We weren't expecting them to be that good. So like what did we go like? We won like 8 games in a row, 9 games in a row.
Yeah, we started out like 8-0 that year, I think.
That was crazy. Cap coming on in the playoffs, kind of shocking us all. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm hard pressed to find a season that has had this many moments. We've had our backs against the wall proverbially the entire season. Like, not a lot of teams that we played against. It feels good, man. Now, the Eagles are an imperfect vessel, but again, I feel like we have laid the groundwork for this type of conversation with all of the shows that we've done throughout the season, Jesse, because what have we been talking about with the NFL? We've been talking about the fact that there is no juggernaut this year. There is no team that's going to really kind of wow you and knock your socks off. There's a problem with every team we face. There's something that you can go and find and identify with every team in the NFL. Nobody's perfect. There's no big bad wolf. And when you have that type of football being played, everything matters. All 3 phases of the game, especially coaching. And slowly but surely, I think that another element of the playoffs that now is just the first round. I don't want to get too crazy, but another element of the playoffs is that the best head coaches are in the playoffs. The best coaching staffs are in the playoffs. And one thing that we have to talk about over, the Eagles, their offense, the blunders, the picks, blah, 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 blah. The Eagles coaching staff is horrible. Absolutely. Especially on the offensive side of the ball. Dude, they are undisciplined. They're all over the place, and they got outcoached. We were more prepared than them. We had better self-awareness. We understood the moment better than they did. We had more of a sense of urgency than they did. It was just a good game, a very good game. So many questions that I want to ask you, because this is our first time talking since the game. We have not spoken at all. So, I mean, I will let you take over the show. I know you got topics, but this is a crazy win. How much? Okay, so we're officially past house money, right? We're like, they've done enough. Have they done enough for you?
Oh, more than, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
right,
look,
okay. Because we get into these conversations.
yeah, no, of course they have. Like, okay, so beginning of the season, I had them at 10-7, losing in the first round of the playoffs. They won 12 games. They won in the first round of the playoffs. So they exceeded expectation in the regular season. They exceeded expectation in the postseason. And one thing I'm not going to do, you're right. We can sit here and be like, well, the Eagles, I mean, their offense has been crappy all season, and Kevin Patullo, they're going to fire him. He's a terrible offensive coordinator, yada, yada. Listen, we can do that until the cows come home. But the reality of the situation is it doesn't matter, man, because how many of those things can we say, yeah, but for the 49ers? I mean, you talk about how the 49ers are more disciplined and played that way. I guess I thought the 49ers shot themselves in the foot all night long. I mean, I had a laundry list of things. When it looked like they were going to lose, I had kept tabs of all the mistakes as to the reason why they were probably going to lose that game. And so the fact that they won, in spite of having all of those guys injured, losing George Kittle mid-game, and then all the things they did along the way that really were kind of out of character. I mean, this team has been disciplined. Now, they didn't have really any penalties outside of like one that I can remember, but they had a ton of things. Fair catching on the 5-yard line, not getting 3 points before the half because of a multitude of different reasons. One, Kyle Shanahan calling a timeout the drive before just to kick a field goal on 4th down. That was strange. Then you waste a timeout on the final drive. Then you got Jawan Jennings literally walking back to the huddle and walking in motion. They blow a 3-point chance there. You have multiple interceptions. Like, there was a lot of reasons why the 49ers should not have won this game. And yet again, they do it. And they've done this all year long. We've said it a million times. We'll probably continue to say it as long as this season is going. There's a reason this team in particular is our favorite in the Shanahan era, and it's because they scrap and claw and fight, and all these games are close. Every single game, your heartbeat's going at the very, very end. Are they going to get it done? And they freaking did it again, man. I don't care who they were playing. It's a playoff game on the road, a team that was well rested, and a team that just won a Super Bowl a year ago. Nah, man. I listen, they deserve all the credit in the world. Every single one of those guys.
It plays, bro. You can't sit back and try to look at the pageantry of the situation. Get out of narrative land. Really. All right. If we would have played the Eagles yesterday and they would have curb stomped us, we would have nobody would have felt like those 12 wins meant anything. We would have all been talking about, man, we got to get our offensive line together. Do you see what that defensive line looks like? Now that's how you stop a run game. Like I hear the conversation already.
Let's be real for 1 second. If they had lost that game, you know what the topic of conversation today would be? Is it time for a full tear down and rebuild? That would have been the conversation.
I understand. There were some guys though that have kind of been getting away with murder, man. And, me and you have been on this dude all year. Diamador Lenore was selling. Oh, my God. He was selling. Oh, my God, he was selling, son. What was he doing?
I don't know. He bounced back. He did bounce back, but it started out really ugly. For about 3 drives in a row, they just picked on him. He was selling. Bro, he talked all year about traveling. Called his coaches out. Like, hey, man, I've asked them. They told me that they don't want to travel me. You finally get a chance to go all over the field, bro. And this is what you do? Dog. The 2 third downs on AJ Brown. The play that Siegel came in and saved us on AJ Brown. Diamador Lenore was on AJ Brown and he was beat. The other 3rd down, AJ Brown just dropped the ball, literally. Yeah. Diamador Lenore was in a first row seat, out of phase, 3 steps behind him, bro. Diamador Lenore, bro. I don't know. Now, another thing that stuck out to me, Jair Brown got sat down. Jair Brown's a mixed bag, okay? At his core, Jair Brown wants to be a very good safety, okay? And he plays very hard. However, he isn't always in the right position at all times. And sometimes he's not conscientious enough to be as strong as he needs to be in the pass game. Run game, I have no problem with him. Marquis Siegel, though. Did you see Marquis Siegel step up? Marquis Siegel came in and had multiple pass breakups, dog. Tackles, was flying all over the place. Marquis Siegel's been benched for like 5 weeks. 5-6 weeks. Comes in right away. Hey, and I gotta say this, for those of you who catch my live watch show parties, the first time I heard of this dude, he got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct for face mask. And I completely laid into him. But I am here to tell you, Garrett Wallow saved us yesterday. Garrett Wallow gave us a level of professionalism at the linebacker spot that we have not seen
in about a month or two. Garrett Wallow and Eric Kendricks, I don't know what type of performance that they got together. I don't know what type of conversation they had to get there. They were playing together in sync. Now, I get it. I'm not impressed with Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jalen Hurts is necessarily a good quarterback. I've been saying that for a long time, okay? I don't think that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Matter of fact, I don't think it's close. So we're going to see better quarterbacks that are really going to be able to stress what these linebackers can do. But it's such a good step in the right direction, Jesse, to have guys literally come off the street and play like this at linebacker for us. Bro, they did an amazing job, especially the linebacking core. Eric Kendricks, Garrett Wallow, for me, they were kind of like my MVPs of the game. They kept making plays. It was amazing. And then Eric Kendricks finishes off the game with the PBU. It was a great game for the linebackers. You know, Robert Saleh getting linebackers off the couch to play like that? Bro, man, I know it's a topic, but Saleh, man.
We can do it. We can talk about it. I mean,
he's gone.
The question is he guaranteed a head coaching job now? He has to be, right? Like, what you think about it, it wasn't just this week, and I get it. There were times, both this game and especially the Seattle game, where it was ugly, giving up chunk yards, 3rd and 17, running play. Like, we can talk about all of that, but the reality is this: in the 2 biggest games of the year, this defense has given up an average of 16 points. That's enough to win both of those games. They really should have won both those games if we're going off the defensive performance and what they actually ended up giving up. So, yeah, man. I mean, Robert Saleh, if he doesn't get a job, I don't know,
bro.
You know,
he's gone.
But it does seem weird because every head coach that got fired is like in the interview cycle with another team. It's like, are we just going to shuffle the same head coaches around the league? Like even Gannon just got another interview as a head coach. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see Mike McDaniel getting another job. Flores is out there. You got to look at other guys who weren't coaches before. Right. I think Flores is a really good heavy candidate to get signed right now. Everybody wants John out of Baltimore. So that's another one right there. As far as, you know, the number one offensive coordinator candidate out there, it's got to be Mike McDaniel. But, you know, I just think that what he's doing, Coach Saleh, that is, what he's doing with this defense and who's on it, one thing that you can tell right off bat is that he is a communicator. You can be the smartest person in the room, but what makes you a genius is when you can make other people as smart as you in the room, when you can teach your defense or your curriculum, that is, to your pupils. And Coach Saleh, I've never been around him coaching, but one thing that I can tell by watching his guys play and just the variables around the situations in a vacuum, right? Like knowing that Eric Kendricks has only been here for a couple of weeks, that we just got Garrett Wallow up to speed, right? Understanding that these linebackers are here. Keon White's only been here for about a month. Like getting these guys in here and allowing them to not only feel confident enough to play fast, right? Because you got to play fast on defense, okay? To play team ball, to rally together. I mean, Coach Saleh, man, he's that's the head coach quality that is lying underneath when you watch how he coaches that defense. Like the ability to get everybody on the same page immediately, right? They may be wrong, but the tenets of that defense are always strictly adhered to. You never see anybody walking on the field. You never see anybody not rallying to a tackle. You never see anybody trying on top of a pile if one guy gets a tackle. Like there's just basic laws that you can tell that he has put into this defense that everybody follows. No matter where you are on the totem pole, no matter where you are on the salary cap or with the money, you have to do this if you want to get on the field. And that right there is something that speaks volumes for a head coach or a potential head coach candidate. I think that, you know, the thing that's the biggest, the thing that sucks is that we're winning all of our primetime games. So, like, when we win, the entire world is watching. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me that you're not an owner and you don't see how these guys play for Coach Saleh. You know,
Let's not forget who was calling that game yesterday too. One Tom Brady, who I don't know
Raiders
is making the decision for the Raiders. You don't think he was impressed? He was talking up Saleh all day long. Oh my God, just oogling and googling all over Saleh. This guy just without the players, he's just so amazing. I love Robert
what else
Saleh.
Can you do?
Yeah, dude. So he's gonna offer. And the way the Jets played this year was proof that it was not him at all. They got so much worse. The moment he got fired, as bad as they were when he got fired, they got so much worse when Ulbrich took over, and then they got even another step worse this year. So it's clearly not him. It's that organization. Every time the Jets played this year and every time the 49ers played this year, it was like another reason as to, Saleh probably deserves another shot. And again, I didn't think he would get one, not in this cycle, but I also didn't think there would be 8 head coaching openings. He's got to get one. He's got to.
A quarter of the league is open, and we're playing deep into the playoffs right now. We just, you know how the playoffs work, man. We get these special notches as far as cachet is concerned, the deeper you go into the playoffs. Now, listen, Super Bowl is what it's all about. But you go 1 game, 2 games into the playoffs, man, that puts a stamp on you as far as how solidified you are as a team. And look, Coach Saleh is putting on his best performance at the right time of the season. I would be so shocked. Now, you heard what Coach Lynch said. You heard what John Lynch said. Lynch said that, they were going to make it really, really hard for Coach Saleh to leave, right? They're going to make it impossible for him to leave. We'll see, but I just 8 job openings, man. You don't like anything? Now we'll see. Did he turn down a job last coaching cycle? Because we know the Jags turned him down.
Well, the Jags turned him down. They wanted Liam Cohen, which that was a great hire for them. But no, I don't. He didn't. I don't know. Not that I remember.
I just think that Coach Saleh, it was good. We had a fling. We had a 1-year thing. You know what I'm saying? But I would be so shocked if he stayed.
I don't think there's anything the 49ers can do to keep him. I think if he stays, that's completely his choice. I don't think.
All right, well, let me ask you this.
What are the 49ers going to do to keep him? Pay him more money? Okay.
That was my question. Not what are the 49ers going to do to keep him, but give me one reason. If you're Robert Saleh, give me one reason why you stay.
I can't think of one.
Me neither. I was hoping you would come up with one. I can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't think of one. He deserves to be a head coach somewhere.
Look at what he did with us. Come on, bro. We don't deserve him. He deserves to be a head coach, bro. There's no way. So, I mean, listen, Saleh, I would be shocked if he took the Raiders job, quite frankly. That's not, you might as well just, they're like the Jets of the West Coast. Like, there's no way. Don't do that.
And you have to strike while the iron's hot. Like, if your stock is as high as it is, as Saleh's probably should be right now, you never know. Like, you don't know what could happen. What if they're just as injured next year and you can't make it work? Or there's so many factors that go into it. You have to take it's like I'll give you an example. Oregon's quarterback, Dante Moore. I love Dante Moore. I've been saying all year, he's not ready to be in the NFL all year long. And now it's the popular thing. Like, oh, he probably should, another year. They watched what happened with Indiana. But if you're going to be the second pick overall, you can't turn that down. You don't know what's going to happen next year. What if you hurt yourself? What if you regress? Like, there's no guarantees. You have to strike while the iron's hot. It is what it is. So I'll
tell you this, though.
You have to take it. If it's offered.
All right, okay, so let's get to it. There's 8 teams at large, right? Ravens, Cardinals, Falcons, Browns, Raiders, Dolphins, Giants, Titans. These are not sexy teams, okay?
The Ravens are.
There's only 3 teams, honestly. So the Cardinals is not a sexy team. I don't think Saleh would take the Cardinals job. They got a little bit of a defense there. They have no
Got
quarterback.
some pieces. The defense.
They got
yeah, but
pieces.
no quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback.
So if you're right, you got
He'll
to
get
think like Robert
cannibalized
Saleh.
trying to find his quarterback.
He didn't have a quarterback with the Jets. That was his
And that's
issue.
what got him
so you're
fired.
not gonna. You can't do that again. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
all right.
they
So
should be out. They should be.
They're
out.
out. All right. Okay. So we'll save the best for last, which we already know. So Giants, no.
Yeah,
Even
unless you believe in Jackson
too
Dart,
adjacent.
which you shouldn't.
And
Not yet.
it's too trauma adjacent. You're in the same building, right?
For sure.
So
Yep.
Giants, no go. All right. Dolphins, hell no. They're not dedicated to defense. This is a team that clearly wants an offense.
They might be in the worst position in the NFL, honestly.
And their front office is
salary
in
cap
shambles.
wise and Tua.
Yes.
And that is, no, absolutely not.
Nobody wants to take Tua. So we're whittling it down. Okay?
Yep.
So Titans. No way. Do you believe in Cam Ward? I'm not even trying to say that Cam Ward is bad, but taking on somebody else's choice to try to get him off the ground and being another defensive coach in Tennessee, they already did that with Vrabel.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Let me check.
I don't think Tennessee is a good. I don't think Tennessee is a good landing spot either.
Hold on a second. I just have to look at this real quick. So here's why we have to kind of rethink things real quick.
Yan Chose just took my idea because that's what I was going for.
I'll look at it in a second. I don't have the chat pulled up. So the Cardinals have the 3rd pick, the Titans have the 4th pick, and the Giants have the 5th pick. So no matter what, those 3 teams we just talked about all have top 5 picks. We have to. Keep that in mind.
There's only 2 first-round quarterbacks in the draft this year.
Okay, I'm just saying you got to keep it in mind. Now the Raiders have the first pick overall.
They're going to get Mendoza, right? They're going to take the kid out of Indiana, and then it's the kid out of Oregon. Then that's it.
Dante Moore.
Yeah, there's nobody else. There's no quarterback. This is not a quarterback's draft this year.
And the Jets are probably going to get Dante Moore, and he'll start.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously not going to the Jets.
Hell
yeah.
no.
And the Raiders need a quarter. Yeah, but okay. So Tennessee, this is why maybe Tennessee might be appealing. If it depends on what you think of Cam Ward, and I don't really have an opinion one way or another. But what does Saleh think of Cam Ward? If he thinks he can be the guy, and he can get a guy to come in and coach him and that he likes and trusts, well, Tennessee essentially, because the quarterbacks are going to go 1 and 2 most likely, Tennessee essentially has the 2nd pick in the draft.
Okay.
Right? So
yeah,
something to consider. All right. So I'm not ruling them out as all. I'm just
saying Tennessee just does not seem. You don't take listen. The Jets chose Robert Saleh, but Robert Saleh also chose the Jets, right? And for me, that says something about Coach Saleh, where he understands that the Jets are a bad team, but they're in the mix, right? They're around. They're in a big city, even though they suck. They're still in a phenomenal city. And one reason why the Jets is Jesus Christ. One reason why the
Jetsons.
The Jetsons. The reason why the Jets seasons are always publicized so well is because of where they are. They're in New York, right? So,
for sure.
Which says that you got a little bit of sand if you think you want to take on the Jets job. You know what I mean? Because all of your losses are going to be all over New York Times, all over the New York Post. So Miami, I don't think that no coach really wants to go to Miami. I think whoever Miami hires is going to be that coach is going to get fired in a year. Raiders, I don't know. Mendoza, they got Brock Bowers over there. Are they going to keep Max Crosby?
I mean, Robert Saleh probably. Listen, if you're Robert Saleh and the Raiders shoulder tap you, you have to have a lot of things put into place that you control. One is Max Crosby has to say, we're not trading him, just so you know. It can't happen. I want my pick of the litter at the quarterback position, whether it's Mendoza or Moore, whoever you want. That's up to him.
Okay.
And you're giving me a 6-year contract. So if I get fired in 1 year, I'm getting paid for 6 years. Like, there's a lot of things that he has to put into place.
All right. So you do realize, though, taking the Raiders job with Coach Saleh's track record, is kind of professional suicide if it doesn't work out because he already got Zach Wilson. He's done this before. So you can't say, oh, well, Coach Saleh's really never been given the pieces. It's like, dude, you've been given top of the draft carte blanche to pick your guy at quarterback twice, and you didn't get it done. You know what I mean? Does Coach Saleh want to go through that again? On top of it, it's not like he's going in with like a John Lynch or what's my boy's name from Philly? Their GM Howie Roseman. It's not like he's got like a solidified guy that can kind of take the shots for him. He's answering to Tom Brady, bro. The Raiders are low key a shit show. Low key.
Oh, they are. No, they are.
Yeah,
they are.
Like I love Tom Brady, but he's kind of giving me Michael Jordan vibes as far as being an executive is concerned.
Yeah, if I was him, I would reach out to Ben Johnson and ask him, what did you put into place in your contract to make sure that
the Bears
everything
don't screw you
went a certain way? Because Ben Johnson has seemingly like full control over everything over there. Because as soon as he came, it was like trade, sign this guy. Like they were spending money all of a sudden. They were making certain draft picks all of a sudden, and it's worked out well for him. So whatever you got in your contract, that's what I need to go after. I'd be reaching out to Ben Johnson if I was him. Like, what's in your deal so I can make sure I get that plan over here with this crappy franchise? That's what I would be doing.
Do you think there's a world where Robert Saleh says, I want that Browns defense?
Yeah, but the quarterback situation.
The Browns are young.
Man, they are, but the quarterback situation, and you still got to deal with the Watson salary cap thing. Like, I don't know, man. That one's tough.
All right, so you're left with two teams, Atlanta and the Ravens. I don't think Coach Saleh is going to take the Ravens job because I think that every head coaching candidate
he's going to get offered
in the world, exactly. The Ravens is kind of like the Cadillac job right now, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think that Coach Saleh even gets a crack at it, honestly. It's Atlanta. And does Atlanta want to hire another defensive guy? They just let go of Raheem Morris.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And
man.
Atlanta's issue was their offense. Their defense was okay. It was their offense that they couldn't get together. So right now, Robert Saleh, honestly, and then what could be really killing him is the longer we keep playing. You know what I'm saying? So it's Baltimore or Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't want a defensive coach. They've done that multiple times, okay? Baltimore.
If I were him, I would want that Raiders job, honestly, out of all of them. Because Baltimore is probably not going to pick him. If Baltimore's not going to pick him, like I said, I'm going to the Raiders. I'm getting carte blanche on what I want. I also know they do have a young offensive line. They have a great pass catcher in Bowers. You got the running back in Genty, potentially, right? You do have some pieces on defense. I mean, you can make it shake. He can make it shake if anybody can. And you got the first pick overall. I don't know. Maybe that's the route I would probably go if I was him. Or potentially Cleveland. I guess you got to be able to get a veteran quarterback over there that you can trust. And I don't know who that guy is. Maybe that's where you go and say, hey, maybe I can get Mac Jones over there on the cheap. 4th round pick, get him from the 49ers.
I don't know, man. You know who I think is kind of like the hot guy? Because I saw a question in the chat, was a very good question. And basically the question said, Coach, who do you think is a better candidate than Coach Saleh right now in the coaching carousel?
Well, it's Harbaugh.
Brian Flores. You know who I think is also kind of like the Ben Johnson of this offseason? Clint Kubiak.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I think that Clint Kubiak is getting a lot of love, man, for what he's doing with the Seahawks. And he's gone. He's not going to stay there long. Somebody's going to try to scoop him up. You're going to have to find.
Hold on a second.
Let me put it like.
He coached college football.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That's what. He coached college football. Like, that's like, what are we actually talking about?
Come on, clutch gene. You got to be more clutch than that. Use your genes, baby. You got to be more clutch.
It's not very clutch.
It's not clutch of you. That's not very clutch of you. So I guess the question would be, I hate to use this word next to Coach Saleh's name, but is he a retread?
He is, but not in the sense like, okay, let me say this. I would rather hire somebody like Saleh than somebody that just lost their job. Like Mike McDaniel's getting interviews still. Like I'm taking him over McDaniel. You got a year away. You got to. I don't
think. I'm just gonna say this right now. I hate to even kill the argument. I don't think Mike McDaniel is in consideration for any head coaching jobs.
But he got an interview.
From who?
I think the Ravens interviewed him. If I'm not mistaken.
The Ravens interviewed Mike McDaniel?
Yeah, let me look it up right now. Mike McDaniel. They're interviewing Jim Schwartz and I think Mike McDaniel.
There's no way Mike McDaniel gets an interview.
Oh, this is scary. Holy
I thought the Commanders were going to get
Browns interview Mike McDaniel. It was Browns.
The Browns. Okay. The Browns can have him. That'd be awesome.
Here's a scary one for you. Holy
What's up?
Lions are set to interview Mike McDaniel at OC. Oh, and Mike McDaniel's set to interview with the Falcons and Ravens head coach right there. There you go. So he's getting 3 interviews this turn around.
If the Lions picked up Mike McDaniel, that'd be dangerous.
That would be dangerous. So if he doesn't get a head coaching job, but he's interviewing with the Ravens, the Falcons, and the Browns for head coach.
As you can see, all of my takes, the common denominator has been why Coach Saleh why he can't leave. I don't want him to leave.
You just want him. It's just wishful thinking.
Everything that I've been saying has just been trying to poke holes in the fact that I do not want him to leave. But somebody's going to grab him. That's just the long and short of it. Do I trust John Lynch in saying that they're going to do everything? Stick to smoking weed in dry place in a dark bite.
This is actually a really funny comment.
It's really funny.
That's a really funny comment.
Hey, I will. Didn't you say this to me the other day?
What?
Our run game hasn't been the same since Mike McDaniel left.
It hasn't. I mean, he was our run game coordinator, man.
He's our run game coordinator.
He dialed things up for sure for us.
Let me ask you this: Is there a world where he burned that bridge? I think he's burned that bridge.
I don't think he likes Kyle that much, to be frank. He did say out loud that basically Kyle drove him to be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to come back and want to be. I'm sure Kyle would welcome him. I don't think Kyle's ego. It's funny because Kyle comes across like he's got an ego, and I know he does have an ego, but I don't think it's too big to like overlook somebody like that. I think he really, at the very least, does respect McDaniel. I just don't think McDaniel would come back here. I don't see why he would. I don't think he likes Kyle personally.
Nah, the vibe will be crazy. So let's get into this. What is this? 18 games down.
Yeah.
Kyle is getting a shit ton of praise. How much of this is Kyle and how much of this is Robert Saleh?
Can it not be both? I mean, can we go 50-50? Like, I don't know, man. Like the way that
it's a messy question. It's messy. It is
messy, but
it's messy.
I would have to go 51-49 in favor of Kyle if I'm going to give a tiebreaker to somebody, because Kyle's the head coach. Like, he still is the head coach, no matter how you look at it, right? And sure, Robert Saleh's done a fantastic job. Brant Boyer's done a fantastic job, which Saleh suggested bringing him in. But at the same time, Kyle did hire these guys. And he's the head honcho. So you have to give him credit. Because if this team wasn't winning, he would get 99% of the blame. So if that's the case, you have to give him more credit. It wouldn't be fair to give him 99% of the blame and basically let Robert Saleh run scot-free as if he doesn't get any of the blame if they were losing. So, yeah, I have to give more of it to Kyle Shanahan. I have to. So whatever that percentage is, more goes to Kyle, in my opinion.
I can't do it. I can't, man. I really respect what Kyle has done this year, really. And I get it. Like he did answer my question though. Sandbagging on the Bears game to be ready offensively for the Eagles. It was clear. Completely different offense than what we saw. What Coach Saleh has done, man. I mean, Fred is gone. Nick Bosa's gone. Your first round pick is gone, right? The guys who you were supposed to have, gone. Nick Martin's out for the year. Luke Gifford's gone. Your backup to Fred Warner, Tatum Bethune, gone. Your Sam, D. Winters, gone. All right? You're playing musical chairs at safety. Jair Brown got demoted, taken out, then got put in the lineup as a dime linebacker, then goes back to his original position, and he takes care of all of that. No malcontent, no lack of playing effort, all right? Having the guys prepared, all right? Also, another thing that really sticks out to me, and Kyle has done this too, so I don't want to speak on this as if Kyle hasn't done this as well, but it hasn't all been flowers. Like, Coach Saleh has not called great games every game. The Atlanta game, the first half, playing off, like the Jaguars game, coming out and admitting that I needed to change. I needed to make better adjustments at halftime. And doing it. Playing games against teams where we're asking ourselves, how in God's name are we going to stop these rushing attacks? Now, we already know what we do collectively in the run game, but look at the best teams that we've seen who run the ball and what we've done against them. Bijan Robinson in Atlanta was the number one running back in the NFL before we saw him. What did he do against us when we came and played against him? Jonathan Taylor, when the Colts were running hot, with that offensive line, nasty offensive line, what did Jonathan Taylor do against us? Okay? Like, you look at the Bears. The Bears have a two-headed monster at running back. They have one of the best running attacks against us. Look at what they did against us. I mean, guys, they come in, they have a slow game against the Seahawks. They barely put up anything, and then all of a sudden, Upton Stout gets down, and then the defense falls apart. But before Upton Stout went down against the Seahawks, we were getting 3 and outs. We were coming into form. Dude, I'm sorry. This defense should not be here. This defense should not be in this stage of the season. What Coach Saleh has done with this defense and getting them prepared, how many defenders, I don't even know if anybody's done the numbers on this. I wish somebody would, but how many players have played on this defense this year? I would venture to say no less than 50. If you think about
that's no fit, no
bro,
way. No way, dude.
The whole defensive line.
That's way too many.
Talk to me. Hear me out. At
Probably
week 6,
30.
I remember this. I remember this specifically. At week 6,
Chat is wild, bro.
Stop putting the chat. He's killing me.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry. Some of them deserve to.
At week 6, the 10 defensive linemen that we had ready for the season, we only had 4 of them. We only had 4 of them that could play, bro. Like, we brought in multiple guys. Now, 50 is definitely like a little bit hyperbole. But at the same time, Coach Saleh has done so much for this defense. And I was the other way around when we asked this question because I was talking about, all of the preparation that Kyle has done to get the team together. And I was on the Kyle wave. But look, man, this defense is like, we're falling apart at the seams, bro. And to see what he's done, I got to go 51-49 Robert Saleh.
I just think that, we probably can't do it to the extent on the offense, but who was Mac Jones before coming here, honestly? And they beat the Rams on the road with no Jawan Jennings, no Ricky Pearsall, no Brandon Ayuk, no George Kittle, and still beat the Rams on the road this year. Like, that's number one. Brock Purdy's missed a ton of games. Andy was hurt for a lot of the games that he did play. George Kittle was in and out of the lineup all year long. He left middle of this last game, and they still found a way. Ricky Pearsall's been out 3 separate times. Brandon Ayuk never played. Trent Williams missed the last game of the season. They've gone through 3 different left guards. CMC, he's played, but listen, we've both said that he's lost a bit of a step in the run game, and he had there's just no way around it.
He's not the same guy
as a runner. He's phenomenal as a pass catcher. He's still a phenomenal player, but him and Saquon Barkley, you can look at them both for different reasons. They've fallen off. Saquon Barkley is clearly still very explosive. Very explosive. Now, he's more hesitant for whatever reason. He's not seeing things the same way. But when he gets going, bro, there is not a drop of athleticism that guy's lost, in my opinion, in the run game. CMC clearly has. So you're dealing with that. I don't know. I feel like you can do this across the board. Yes, the defense has dealt with more. I get that. But once again, Kyle Shanahan is not just the offensive coordinator. He is the head coach as well. That means all the little things that have to be done during game week, he's the one preparing those. He's the one giving the speeches, handing out the game balls, keeping guys motivated. Every time there's a frustrated player like Jawan Jennings, for example, he's not going to Robert Saleh. He's going to the head coach. So, these are just little things that have to be dealt with as the leader of the organization. And that's why I say Kyle Shanahan. They've both done a fantastic job. Thank you, Blue Bronco. I almost started the show with his intro. I told him I was going to, and I chickened out at the very end.
We are here.
We are here. We are here.
Look, it's a nervous take. All right, whatever, bro. So look, what I was going to say is I'm looking at the regular season. You know how many teams have put up 30 points on us this year?
3. I don't know.
2.
2. Rams.
We lost to the Bucks 30-19.
Mm-hmm.
And
Rams.
We lost to the Rams 42-26. You're right.
Yeah.
3. Yeah, because we beat Chicago, but they put up 38.
Yeah, okay.
All right. It's only 3 teams, bro. This defense, we beat Seattle with 17 points. It was 17-13, bro. We beat
How many
Arizona.
times did we put up 30? How many times did we put up 30?
How many times did we put up 30 offensively?
Yeah.
5.
How many times did we hold teams under 20? Because I feel like that's a fair measure.
Teams under 20?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Six. We held
That's
Seattle
impressive.
under 20. Yeah, dude.
That's impressive.
And I'll give you the games too. These are the teams that we held under 20 points. We beat Seattle 17-13, right?
We held them under twice.
We held them under 20 twice. We beat Seattle 17-13. We beat Arizona 16-15. We lost to the Jags 26-21. Oh, under 20, sorry. We lost to the Jags. We beat Atlanta 20-10.
Okay.
Okay. We beat the Panthers 20-9.
Okay.
We beat the Browns 26-8.
Okay.
And we lost to the Seahawks 13-3.
So that's 6 games. Yeah.
It's 6 games, bro. You see what I'm saying? So
it's impressive.
it's a lot. It's impressive.
They both can we just say they've both done a fantastic job?
They both done a great
that's
job.
that's the crux of the argument is sure, we're choosing one over the other, but they've both done a fantastic job. They just have. So real quick, let me hit sleeper real quick.
Damn, we've been on that long?
Yeah, dude, I know it's crazy. Get a 100% deposit match of up to $100 when you use promo code LSS. Link is pinned to the top of the description. You can also get a free $20 play without making a deposit when you use promo code LSS. Sleeper is the fastest fantasy growing app out there. They've been my sponsor all season long. Shout out to Sleeper for sure. Here is the picks that I made for tonight's game. I had to do it before because I didn't know if we'd get to it before the game actually kicked off. So I got Kai Fairbairn, less than 2.5 field goals made. 3 field goals is a lot in a game. Woody Marks, more than 39.5 rushing yards. That one's on sale right now. I got Boswell with more than 2 field goals made, and Metcalf with more than 4.5 receptions. It's his first game back after a 2-game suspension. I got to imagine they're going to go to him heavy. So that's $10 to win 74.20. You can tail me or you can fade me, but make sure you sign up for Sleeper using promo code LSS. All right, we got a ton of super chats. Let's get to these real quick.
Damn, we do.
John says, I became a member. We appreciate you, John. We appreciate you, John. Fabio. Is that like Fabio? Game ball to Kendricks and Wallow. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They both played really well, man.
They did. Wallow
really
surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
They did good, man. Let's see if they can carry it on. I mean, one part of the show that we have to get to is what the hell are we going to do with Seattle? Like that, like, okay, I get it. Philly, good. It was good to beat Philly, but now I want more. I just don't want to go home now. What do we got to do to beat Seattle? We have to be able to take their run game away from them. 13-3, they put up. It felt 13-3 felt like 31-3. Quite honestly,
it never felt close. It really never felt close.
They dominated, but the turnovers in the red zone. We gotta figure out a way. And another big thing is we need Ricky back for this game. Do you think he'll be back? We have to do something. We just can't roll out there with no George and nothing else.
No. Ricky does need to be back. I don't know what to expect. I don't want to predict anything with his injury. To me, okay, so he had a grade 1 PCL injury that kept him out for 6 weeks, which is the maximum amount. It's a 3 to 6 week or 4 to 6 week injury. Assuming he has that again, we're coming up on, I think, week 3, which would be early for a return. So I don't know what to expect. I really don't.
Any Jacob Cowing? Anything?
He was a healthy scratch last game. And what is Jacob Cowing? Listen, he's a second-year player that was a late-round pick that hasn't played a snap all season long. What's he going to do? You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I feel like, bro? I feel like Smokey counting up his re-up in front of Big Worm, bro. Like, all right, I got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then I'm going to flip it around. I got 30, 40, 100, 80, 100. Like, I feel so short. Like, we don't have enough. They're going to be so motivated to play against us. They're going to want to shut the door. And then for them, it's like, you again? We already got the number 1 seed and the division championship in your crib. All right? You want to do this again? There has got to be a way. Now, if you're Kyle, is there some type of 3D chess where you're saying, I'm going to see this team again. We're going to see them again. And the last thing we want to do is put it all out there on tape. Is there? No. But I will say there is a lot of things. I'm trying to give Kyle everything. Listen, this one could be different. And the reason I think it could be very different, it will be different. I mean, every game is different itself. But the reason why this one could be different is all the pressure is on Seattle. The 49ers are playing with house money. And you've got a first-time head coach in the playoffs, as good as McDonald is. This is his first time in the playoffs as a head coach. And Sam Darnold, man, the pressure mounts every time he goes out and plays for the rest of the year. The 49ers did nothing to make sure that game was in his hands. They have to sell out. You already said it, but they have to sell out to stop the run and make Sam Darnold beat him. And if he beats them, kudos to them. You guys are great. Salute to you. Good luck. But I'm not going down without putting it in his hands at some point during that game and making him prove it. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. You have to make him prove it. Put it in his hands. Let's see what happens. Bro, if we beat these cats and go to the NFC Championship game, bro, God. Listen, this path. We got to go, bro. We have to go. I've been telling you this. The further they go, Jesse, we just have to.
We have
If they
to
go
go.
if they go to the Super Bowl, man, it would be tough to say no to that. It really would, because they in this path would be the hardest, because my assumption is they're going to play the Rams in the NFC Championship. So you had to go through Philly, through Seattle, in Seattle, and then the Rams in LA. Now I get it. LA, Levi South.
Yeah.
I don't care. Those three teams, those were the three hardest teams that you could have played in the whole thing. Three hardest teams. So
man,
that's I don't know, man. That's
I
super
feel
impressive,
good, bro. We Eagles, I get it. The only people that were shocked that we beat the Eagles, honestly, were some Eagles fans, because there were even Eagles fans that were not really surprised at us beating them. This offense has just been up and down all year, right? And what do you got to say about Jalen Hurts now?
Yeah, I mean, listen. We can talk about Jalen Hurts, how whatever. But the Eagles, regardless of all their problems, that's still a more impressive win than beating, in my opinion, the Bears, the Packers, or the Panthers, which means they were the third hardest team. And then the Rams and Seattle are 1 and 2 to get through. So they literally had to go through the three hardest teams to get to the Super Bowl, assuming they play the Rams the next round if they can get past Seattle. I don't know.
So
man.
I can't let you do this. So
why?
Is it the OC or is it Hurts?
A little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. I mean, listen, I've been pretty clear. Hurts is not my cup of tea as a quarterback. He's got his issues, but he has come through in the playoffs. He has been clutch in the playoffs, and I was never going to take that from him. But I don't know. Last night I will say, to me personally, it was more the OC, because the way that I saw that at the end of the game, they had 1st down and 10. I think it was in the red zone or right at the edge of the red zone. Mm-hmm. They literally threw the ball beyond the sticks, I think all 4 times. Like, who does that? They had plenty of time. They could have ran the ball. They could have thrown short of the sticks and picked up half of it. Literally just 4 down the field throws. That was the plan. That's an awful game plan. Yeah,
Patullo. I mean, I heard that he was Sirianni's friend. I heard that him and Sirianni were like really close friends.
He's been there the whole time. Like he was there under who was their first offensive coordinator? Who was the guy in Indy? Steichen. He was there under Steichen. He was just there under Kellen Moore. He was there under the coach that was terrible a couple years ago that they fired. So he's been there. He's watched it happen. It was just a natural thing. So I'm sure they want Mike McDaniel too. They should. They should be going after Mike McDaniel. I'll tell you that right now.
Eagles go get. I think that there's a ceiling there with Jalen Hurts. I really do.
Oh, there's definitely a ceiling. Listen, I'm gonna
be fair, but I think there's a ceiling.
There's definitely a ceiling. I prefer Brock Purdy over him. I prefer.
That's
Brock
all I was
Purdy
waiting to hear you say. We can move on.
Oh yeah. Listen,
we can move on. That's all I wanted to hear you say.
Honestly, I prefer Brock Purdy over all of these quarterbacks in the NFC outside of Stafford.
Yeah.
But if I was doing a ranking, I had to have Hurts above. It's like, it's again, Hurts is not my preference, but it's like, I'm not a Jay-Z fan, but I, he's a top 5 rapper of all time. I give respect because of what he's accomplished, but he's not. I hate Jay-Z.
Brock Purdy, if Brock Purdy is the Eagles quarterback, we get smoked last night. That's a fact. If Brock Purdy is the Eagles, think about this, Jesse. If Brock Purdy is the Eagles quarterback with a run game and can sit back there and bake cakes like Jalen Hurts did all day yesterday, we get smoked. That's how many weapons and that's how much support Jalen Hurts has with the Eagles. You don't think Jalen Hurts has ungodly amounts of support over there?
He does. But that offensive coordinator is god awful, man. Absolutely awful.
I'm sorry, bro. I get it. He is a bad offensive coordinator. I get it. But Jalen's a bad quarterback, man. He is, bro. He can't see the field, Jesse. Why are he running the ball? He could have ran the ball more. Like, he's inaccurate. all of his balls are inconsistent. When he does, all of his balls come out differently. Pause, I'm saying balls too much. But you see what I'm saying, man? Like, Jalen Hurts is inconsistent. If Jalen Hurts wasn't a power lifter, if he did not have the athleticism to put on top of the skill set, Jalen Hurts would be a goddamn H-back. Jalen Hurts is Tim Tebow's level of bad at quarterback.
I go, whoa.
He is!
No.
All he can throw is a deep ball, bro. Stop it.
No.
That pass, he telegraphs everything. He can only look at his first read. That pass to Devontae Smith in the flat, that was a fucking pick six, Jesse. That wasn't a pick six. Upton Stout shouldn't have took that shit to the other way around.
It's gone too far. It's gone
Bro,
too far.
Jalen Hurts is not. He's average.
He's not. Listen, I get it. I'm not disagreeing.
This is reversed. This is reversed. This is reversed. This is the first time I'm gonna only say this, but this is reversed. If Jalen Hurts was white, you would be telling me how trash he is.
Oh, no. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Listen, I've been the Justin Fields thing. I'm not afraid. I could give two.
Jalen Hurts has a
skin
sick
color is. I'm not gonna hold back.
The only thing elite about Jalen Hurts is that he is a strong runner. That is it.
For sure. And he's a strong leader too. I mean, that plays. It does play. But listen, as a passer, there's definitely more to be desired. But Tim Tebow, come on, man. No way. He's not that bad. He's not Tim Tebow bad. That's too much.
Tim Tebow is Jalen Hurts, bro. Tim Tebow couldn't run better than Jalen Hurts.
He's not. Now Tim Tebow's better than Jalen Hurts.
I answer this question. The skill set. Tim Tebow was not as effective as a runner as Jalen Hurts. So now Tim Tebow wasn't shit.
I'm not.
So now Tim Tebow wasn't shit. Tim Tebow could barely throw the ball. All he could do was run. Jalen Hurts and Tim Tebow are not eye to eye as far as runners.
Jalen Hurts has 21 touchdowns to 4 turnovers in the playoffs. He deserves some credit, man. Like, I get it. I get. He's not your cup of tea. He's not mine either. But that's too much, man. Too much. Tim Tebow. Come on.
Tim Tebow was a bad NFL quarterback. He was a freaking college legend. For everything that he brought to the game in college, Tim Tebow was a legend. He couldn't put it together in the NFL because Tim Tebow wasn't a good thrower. Okay, Tim Tebow was not accurate, but what helped Tim Tebow is he was very physical, and he could run the ball. What is the difference between what I'm saying about him and Jalen Hurts? They both went to college.
As bad as Jalen Hurts is a thrower, he's a better thrower than Tim Tebow.
One would even say that Tim Tebow had a better college career than Jalen Hurts.
That's fine, but Jalen Hurts is a better thrower than Tim Tebow. And I don't think they're even close in that department. As bad as Jalen Hurts is, he's certainly not on the level of Brock Purdy if we're making that comparison as a thrower. But the difference between Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts is the same as the difference between Jalen Hurts and Tim Tebow as a thrower. Tim Tebow literally should not. I mean, he couldn't throw the football at all. Like, Jalen Hurts at least can get into the playoffs and throw for 300 yards in a Super Bowl. Tim Tebow could never.
Man, maybe I put too much dip on my chip about the throwing.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
But they're not. But it's not far off, bro. Honestly, it's really not that far off to me. If I'm looking at Tim Tebow and Jalen Hurts, it's like, what do you want to do? Take the lesser of two evils.
Tim Tebow had a completion percentage of 47.9% in his career.
Hold on. Also, but wait a minute. You're not looking at this you're not looking at this the way that I'm conveying this poorly. I'm doing a bad job at this. What you're looking at is what Tim Tebow did in the passing game of NFL back then. We already know that passing the ball in today's NFL is much more prevalent than it was when Tim Tebow played. Can we at least admit that?
Yes, it is. I agree.
Right. So passing, okay. So all I'm saying is that when you're a Tim Tebow and you have mediocre to below average passing skills, in that era of football, that is something that can be coached around because we don't need you to do that much because we are big, we're physical, there's a run game, we've got other guys that can get the ball, and that won him a national championship. That took him to Heisman Trophy levels. So we can't sit here and say that Tim Tebow was so bad as a passer. He was absolutely no, he motherfucker won a national title. Okay? So you can't just say that he was doing nothing throwing the ball. For then, it was mediocre. What I'm saying is that Jalen Hurts has been the benefactor of when he started playing football, where the passing game is more prevalent for when Jalen Hurts was playing football. And even with
slightly,
what passing,
you act like
even
hold on.
with what
Tebow
passing
didn't play
is
in
now,
1963. He played in 2010. Okay, like it wasn't that long ago.
That's 16 years ago.
The rules started changing in 2002. It is easier now. Don't get me wrong, but not. You're acting like this is like Tim Tebow played like for the '67 Dallas Cowboys or something. I don't know. And even then, Tim Tebow was a bad passer if he played in the '60s.
So, all right. So, who was a better quarterback, Colin Kaepernick or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts slightly, but the peaks, man. Colin Kaepernick peaks. Ooh.
Jalen Hurts slightly.
He's between. Listen. He's between Kaepernick and Newton. Like between the two, he's somewhere in between those two.
I think Cap was better.
I think the peak Cap was better. Peak Cap
would
really
stick his foot in the ground and be gone. Jalen Hurts don't got no top end speed like Cap had.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, man, Jalen Hurts is an
Cap,
amazing game manager. He's got incredible poise, and I get it. I see all of the shit on the surface. But all I'm saying is that once you get around all of that stuff and get to the net, he doesn't throw the ball that much better than what a Tim Tebow did. And his running skill set is on par with what Tim Tebow did. Only thing about it is that Jalen Hurts got a good shape up and, you know what I'm saying, he puts it together a little better. But outside of that, Jalen Hurts is an average quarterback to me. Very average.
I don't disagree. I don't necessarily. As a thrower, at the very least, I mean, below average. To be
Hurts
honest,
has everything but field vision, and he's a quarterback. That's like saying he's got everything but legs, and he's a running back. Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Come on,
he has
man.
everything,
like,
but
doesn't
yeah,
even make sense.
Listen, I agree. You had me until Tim Tebow. That's where you lost me. The Tim Tebow, I couldn't go. All right, listen, we got 33. Let's run through these.
All right.
John says, Jesse, the jersey bet should be the tiebreaker with the Seattle content creator. We'll see. We'll see what he's willing to do tomorrow. Corbin says 3 years. That defense, though, in Florida for next week's game. Where in Florida? Florida's a big state. Big state. John says, Jesse, the 49ers simply have guts. And Jesse, you, I, and Coach get to talk about another game, one in which I have 4K on the 49ers. Ghost Man does not scare me. 8 in the box, stop the run. Simple. He has the same game plan. $4,000. That's a lot of scratch to be willing to lose. 49er Fisherman says, Jesse, love you, brother, but Herbert now has the same amount of postseason passing TDs as Jawan Jennings, too.
That was rough to watch. I didn't watch it.
I honestly didn't watch it. The stats certainly weren't good, but
it was bad,
I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I didn't watch it. I was low-key footballed out. But yeah, listen, Herbert needs to do more in the playoffs. Like, there's no doubt about it. John says, Coach, Brown was not sat. He got hamstrung. Jesse, Wallow and Kendricks played like that. Give Saleh more money than a head coach. Shannon deserves props. Yeah, but sometimes it's not about money. It's sometimes about the status, you know? Jordan says the NFL would make a mistake to think Saleh's tenure at the Jets was a reflection on him. The Jets are just the Jets. I agree with that, too.
I agree with
that. Very true. Michael coming in with the 10 spot. Appreciate you. Says, Jesse, if you lose a tiebreaker bet with Brandon, you have to do an episode going hard on the electrical transformer conspiracy. Buy in, brother. Much love. Go Hawks, dude. That thing is taking on a life of its own, hasn't it? That's
I don't
funny.
understand how it's gotten this big.
What's crazy is Chase was the first one to talk about it, and he got crapped on so hard. And then all of a sudden, like some guy that like has no skin in the game when it comes to sports was just like, scientifically, and everybody's like, yeah, it could be a thing. Chase over here like,
science, cause science, motherfucker.
Yeah. Gizmo Maltese says, am I wrong for thinking the 49ers offense would be better if they ran Brian Robinson a lot more, especially on first and second down? I don't know that you're wrong for thinking that. I think saving CMC the most you can from these car crashes is a smart bet. Double B Studio says, I lost a bet with my wife's best friend. She's a Seahawks fan. Now I doubled or nothing. I cannot lose twice in a row. You can. You can lose twice in a row. Viagra specialist. New York chance 49ers sign Darrell Taylor waiver release. I doubt it. Double B Studio says, could they match head coach salary on defensive coach? Sure, you pay coaches whatever you want. Whatever you want. So, Ty Bud says electrical plant causing injuries. Talk about it. Everybody wants to talk about it. Listen, I really don't have I'm not afraid to give my opinion on that type of stuff. I just genuinely don't know enough about it. I don't want to sit up here and sound stupid.
I'm in the same boat.
I have no clue.
I'm in the same boat. It's intriguing.
It is intriguing. I'm interested. I'm definitely
I just don't know what the fuck I am talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
All Niners says, I'm enjoying the hell out of this season because it feels like we're doing the unthinkable with all these injuries. But as a fan, I'm torn because a lot of the players I've grown to love aren't playing. That I'm with you on this. We were talking yesterday in the post game, like if they won a Super Bowl, how amazing would it be? But also George Kittle not playing in the Super Bowl just feels really, really crappy. Like really crappy. Guys like George Kittle and Fred Warner, who were here for the two losses, if they don't get to play and they win, it would be a weird feeling. It would be a weird feeling.
That'd be gutting. Yeah.
Our Heart says Lynch said we could make it enticing for Saleh to stay. Fred Warner and Bosa also very attractive to come back. Ravens the only team ready for success. Yeah, but no matter what, listen, teams that are good usually don't have head coaching vacancies. So it just is what it is.
It's always going to be a bad
he's going to have to take the leap. He's going to have to take a leap. KFW says coach of the year, Shanny, McDonald, or Vrabel. I think Vrabel. I think Vrabel deserves it. Yeah,
Vrabel's doing a phenomenal job. And it's not just Drake May. It's everything. It's the defense. It's their offense. Everybody's turned on. Mike Vrabel's doing a...
Drake May seems like a guy, though.
Yeah, man.
Seems like a guy.
Yeah, he's a guy.
David says... All right. Drewish guy says, have y'all talked to McDaniel yet? He should be a head coach in Philly. We have talked to McDaniel. Honestly, if I'm Philly and I see Harbaugh out there, I'd be like, see ya, Sirianni. I'm bringing in Harbaugh.
I bring in Harbaugh.
And
they need a manager.
Fangio can stay.
Fangio respects him. They need a manager. That's what Philly needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bring in Harbaugh. David says, you always make the right take when it comes to Brock. There is time where Brock makes boneheaded throws. Yeah, listen, we didn't really talk a lot about Brock. I have zero issues with how he played yesterday. I get it. The 2 picks weren't ideal. But outside of that, man, like
whatever.
What do you expect him to fucking do with all those injuries? Like, what more do you want from him? I don't know. Like,
bro.
Listen, he played all right by me. All right. So
man, we won, bro. Like, are you crazy? It's the playoffs, man. We ain't even supposed to be winning these games.
I don't think he was saying like whatever. I just think, we just haven't talked about it. But no, he deserves his flowers for yesterday. He deserves his flowers. Christopher Royal says Ravens, solid head coach, McDaniel OC. That's scary. We've all talked about that. I think we all agree that would be terrifying.
That's nuts.
Alex says the best pod out there. I absolutely love this team's grit and resilience. Talk about some dogs. Forever faithful. 100%.
They've impressed. They've impressed this year.
We get a lot of feedback on this pod, though, on this show in particular, Coach. Man, people love this show. Except
Love
for
this
Half
show
Dead.
too, man.
He hates my guts. Cam's dad won says, is it just me? I feel like we have the edge against Seattle Saturday because McDonald gave us the roadmap 2 weeks ago, and we have linebackers this week. Ricky gets back or stay home forever. He's basically saying if he doesn't play, he doesn't get to play. I listen, advantage. That's strong. That's a strong suggestion. But can they close the gap? Yeah, I do think they can close the gap. All day, every day. Kim says, did y'all see Caleb's face? Stone cold killer. That man don't go got to Dougie. He's on his way. I have to say, Caleb Williams deserves his flowers too. And how seriously he took it on the sidelines and the passion he showed. All the, he paints his fingernails and he's crying. He doesn't care about the game. All that is out the window. People got to stop with that take. That is not the case. And the, I don't know if you saw his post-game speech where he was, about to get emotional, like showing love, giving the game ball to his head coach, man. That guy's a leader. He's a true leader. Blue Bronco says, you two, Grant and Kruger in a R&B group. Color me 49.
I love that.
Nice. Cam's dad won. We have to do one show with the four of us just to say
yes, we got to, man. I miss Larry. Let's get
just
one on
to
with
say
Larry.
it. Cam's dad says Bourne doesn't know the plays. What the F?
That was weird. That was a very odd section of the game because right after that, I think Jawan was like walking on the field. Like,
walking. What was that?
That's when Brock goes and scrambles, and then we fumble. I believe that there were
a weird sequence.
There were elements of this game where we tried to give it away.
That's what makes it more impressive. Makes it even more impressive.
It does, man. The 3 points at half was ominous. I thought that was going to come back and get us. The missing the field goal opportunity before half with Brock fumbling out of bounds, that was huge. But also we really didn't do much on the run. The run game. I felt like Kyle was really preoccupied with attacking their linebacking core. But we're gonna have to figure out a way how to maybe next week is a B-Rob game. But we still have a running the ball issue.
We do. 3.2 yards per carry from CMC. Not ideal. 49er Fisherman says Kyle already said he's going to coach differently as he knew what he did wrong. I think we can win with DeMarcus over Ricky at wide receiver. Yeah, I don't know. It would just be nice to have him. All Niner says, remember when Marshawn Lynch came out of retirement? Is there a pass rusher that can come help us? Laugh out loud. I don't know who that would be. I don't think so. Reed, go Hawks. Coach so funny. Pick. Sorry, it's going to be a 2 TD win. He's a Seahawks fan, so he's saying they're going to win by 2 touchdowns. All day, every day, Cam says, hey, Coach, Brock did try to give the Eagles the game. Stop the cap all the time. With you, JJ saved Brock from a loss. I don't know. I'm in the same boat. I think Brock played well.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
3 turnovers from Brock. Well, 2 turnovers. And did they recover the fumble?
Which one? I'm trying to remember the fumble.
Brock fumbled before the half.
They did.
He was running out of bounds.
They did.
Yeah, he was running out of bounds, and he fumbled out of bounds trying to get to more yardage. So he had 3 turnovers yesterday. All right, 3 turnovers. They got 3 points off of all 3 turnovers. All right, it's the playoffs, guys. Usually, that's a conversation for regular season, where you're going to see another team and these problems are just going to come up in the same way. But dude, we don't have to see the Eagles for another year. We are not going to see them again. Move on. Take the win and move on, bro. You see what we're playing with? At some point, you do have to just, especially in a win, you got to put it all down and just be a fan. I mean, that's how I felt. I mean, obviously I was upset by the picks, but dude, the fact that we were still in the game, I wasn't harping on that shit. I was still trying to win.
Yeah, I think the 49ers recovered the fumble, but even if like that, to me, like all turnovers aren't created equally. I'll give you an example. Quarterback throws an interception on 4th down. I don't give a rip. the ball was going to be a turnover anyways. And if you threw an interception on fourth down, as long as it wasn't a pick six, usually you're actually gaining field position. I have zero. If a quarterback threw an interception every fourth down because nothing's there and he's just taking a chance, like I don't care. On that's the last play of the half. Even if he had turned it over, like I don't even really count that, honestly. Like I don't know.
Yeah, and Brock fumbled out of bounds. I'm seeing it in the chat. So yeah,
listen,
I thought he fumbled out of bounds too.
No, but the thing is too is like, really from me, it wasn't even the interceptions. The worst drive he had was after the first interception. He was playing gun shy and throwing behind. He threw behind a tight end on a slant. For the first time in that game and the only time in that game for one drive, he just looked like he lost confidence for a drive. Outside of that, I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna call it how I see it, and I didn't have an issue with how Brock played yesterday at all. Like
neither did I.
I had zero issue with it.
He outplayed Jalen Hurts.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure he did. Can't get it right. Jalen has a Super Bowl win and MVP. Stop it. Yeah, he's the Tim Tebow thing, I think is what he's going. I agree. The Tim Tebow, he's just too far. The hate went too far.
Bro, I know what I'm watching, man. I'm going to leave it at
that. Dino Paid says, if Kyle can win a Super Bowl, it'll be the best championship run since Dirk Nowitzki 2011. Ooh, that was a good championship run, too. They had no business beating Miami. Not one, not two, not three. All day, every day, Kim says, you sound like Lombardi or Colin Cowherd. Nice. Well done. All day, every day, Kim says, Coach Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP. Respect. Yeah, respect him, Coach.
I respect Jalen Hurts. I don't want to disrespect.
You called him Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow is a national championship winner.
So is Danny Werfel.
Exactly. How much praise do you want me to give the guy?
I think Danny Werfel is.
University of Florida.
49er says, Eagles most annoying fans, no Hawks fans before 2014, and the Rams still don't have real fans. Would be incredible to beat all three on their home turf. Wouldn't it, though? It would be very incredible. All day, every day, Kim says, Coach, you also would pick Steph over LeBron. Only you and the Warriors fans will say that. That's it in the whole world. Yeah, picking Steph over LeBron is crazy.
I would not pick Steph
work.
over LeBron. I wouldn't do that.
That would be crazy work. Coach did tell me behind the scenes, actually, before we started the show, he's like, and another thing, LeBron is not as good as Steph ever was. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. Can't get it right, says Hurts, 293 total yards, 3 TDs, and an interception to beat Kansas City in a Super Bowl. Yeah, Coach.
Okay,
I feel like this is the first time that the chat agrees with me more than they do you on any argument.
You know who else? Hold on. You know who
Except
else?
For Half Dead. Where are you at, Half Dead? I'm sure you
know who else had a great playoff run for the Eagles at quarterback? Nick Foles. Nick Foles also won the Super Bowl for the Eagles, too. We throwing Nick Foles up there, too?
I don't know what the GBGs are. But, whatever.
Jesse rolling with the...
GBGs, I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Why would I be... Brother, listen... I've got 346 watching. I don't care if they are all Seahawks fans.
As long as they're real people.
I don't... What? Like, why would I be upset about that? I don't care. Okay.
I mean, I guess you win a Super Bowl at quarterback, all's forgiven. Your whole skill set's off the chain.
It shouldn't be. I love sports and I love football, but some of y'all Half Dead, and I'm talking to you Half Dead, and some of the others that do this weird gatekeeping fandom thing. If as a grown adult, you gatekeep fandom like it's a full-time job, brother, go have kids or do something productive in this world. Like, you got too much time on your hands. I love sports and it's supposed to be a getaway, but some of y'all really take this like it's like the end all be all. Listen, if the 49ers and the NFL folded tomorrow, life would be peachy keen for me. I feel like some of y'all it wouldn't be. Do something.
All right.
So you know what I mean? Like, come on. It's too much.
Let's have the LeBron conversation. It's just football at the end of the day. And you know what? After you guys get done cursing us out and saying that coach is an idiot for thinking that Jalen Hurts is not as good as Tim Tebow, just remember this: when you close your phone paid by minutes, that life is still staring you back in the face when you look in the mirror, bro. Like that job, that boss, all right, that baby mama, those kids that you're not too proud of, all of them come rushing right back after you get your one-off on YouTube World. So just understand that this is not real.
It's like the
life.
post-nut clarity. It's like you get post-nut clarity. As soon as you send that super chat and then you kind of get dunked on because the funny thing is like you get one chat that you can fire off and we get to choose whether anybody else sees it, right? Like that's the reality of it. Like I don't have to bring it up or talk about it. It's fun. I like the back and forth. So, Half Dead is like, he's like the little brother that just kind of annoys you, and you kind of just hold him at arm's length and you do whatever you want. But like the whole thing is like I choose when you get people see you, right? And then after that, I can go off for 45 minutes to an hour or 2 days if I want to, because it's my show, right? So like after you get that little jab off, it should be like the post-nut clarity. We're like, shit, man, I really didn't have time for all that. Like I got work to do. What am I doing over here?
Yeah. I mean, the exposure. I mean, listen, man, YouTube it's a very interesting place. But at the end of the day, it's just an app. Everybody has one. It's on your phone. And once you click off, you can move on with the rest of your day. It ain't that deep.
It shouldn't be that deep. It is for some people. 11, the House of Zenith. That's a name. Niners out physical and out schemed the Beagle. They really did. I think the out physical is the most impressive thing for me. Jeb85 says, who's the bum from the practice squad who dropped the slant? Where the F was Watkins on and Cowing? Dude, what was the receiver's name that was in there for a play? Like, and he hasn't played since like 2012. Not that bad, but who was it? Martin
there was
or
a
something?
guy,
I don't even remember, dude.
Nick
I don't
Martin.
Even remember. Yeah, no, not Nick Martin.
No,
That's
not
the
Nick
linebacker.
Martin. Golly, I forgot that guy. What was his name?
I don't think that's a problem. The only Flav says, I agree with Coach. Watching the Eagles, I have two thoughts. If Purdy didn't get hurt, we for sure would have dominated that game. Two, I don't know about that, because you have to remember that the Eagles scored immediately in that game, in that NFC Championship. And we also forget that Brock turned the ball over on that same play. Like that did happen. So I don't know if we dominate the Eagles, but we could win. Either way, how did Hurts ever win a Super Bowl? It's so painful we don't have one. That is true, Flav. He says, now with the Kittle injury, I want a legit number one wide receiver and two solid defensive players this offseason. CMC with a wide receiver one that can actually beat man-to-man would give us so many options and help make up for the loss of Kittle. Yeah, he's going to be out all next year, man. That's the...
All right, so don't look now, and I hate to really burst our bubbles, but the top end of the receiver class for this year's draft is slow. I'm not going to say they're bad. Because they're players. But if you're the receiving group, top 5 guys right now in the receiving group are Carnell Tate out of Ohio State, Jordan Tyson's out of Arizona State, Mekhi Lemon out of USC, Denzel Boston out of Washington, and Chris Bell out of Louisville. Out of the 40s in all 3 of them, Jordan Tyson runs a 4.5 flat, Carnell Tate runs a 4.6 flat, Mekhi Lemon runs a 4.48, Denzel Boston runs a 4.55, and Chris Bell runs a 4.48. So the burning element of what we got ain't really it. And it was Malik Turner. I remember that.
It was Malik Turner. I'm sorry. Steve-O has one of these every couple months where it's just, it's too good. Too good. This one is too good.
Is Coach next to the back?
That's pretty good.
It is.
Paul the Third says,
Steve-O's my dog, man.
IU can't come back. That's the problem. They put him on a reserve list. Beats and meats. God. Today, Krug said that he heard from a 49er personnel guy that Pearsall and Renardo Green are getting traded in the offseason. Whoa. Okay. That would be interesting. Harg said, hey, guys, now that Kittle is out, who soaks up Eamon Worry? That's a good point. I don't know who, but Eamon Worry is just like this dog out there waiting to shut somebody down. I don't know who it is. Maybe they go after Tonjes. I don't know. Alex says
Jake.
Braun equals GOAT. Also, I saw what the vision was with the RP, but I'm done with that glass cannon. I just can't call players glass, man. But I get it. It sucks. I see the vision too to a certain extent, but he's got to stay healthy, man. I'm really pulling for him. Big Brown says as long as we can send the Sea Chickens home this season, it's a win. Psych, get number 6. Also, Kobe's better than Braun. No, he's not.
No.
We're not doing this.
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time for this show.
We don't.
Don't do this.
You agree that Kobe's better than Braun. I'm on the other side.
Let it go. All right.
No, we're not.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All Niners says we were all talking about how trash the O-line was and pissed the Niners didn't draft one in this offseason, but they've been playing great. They have, but it's about replacing guys in the future. What is the Trent replacement? That does play. And then can't get it right. Give up a first and a third for Justin Jefferson this summer. Ooh, I would love to go get Justin Jefferson. I just don't see it happening.
Move? You like that?
I would love that. Dude. I would love it. All right. Kobe doesn't clear. But anyways, all right. Coach, listen, we went for an hour and a half.
Yo, don't try to slip shit in at the end.
Much love.
Kobe all
I'll be back
day.
tomorrow.
Kobe all day.
Coach. It's LeBron over Kobe. We all agree collectively. Hold on. We all agree. Hey, Coach. Don't say anything if it's LeBron over Kobe. Don't say a word right now if it's LeBron over Kobe. Yes, Jefferson, please. He's not saying anything. See, he agrees. It's LeBron. All right. Anyways, much love. Coach is muted. He doesn't even know I muted his ass. All right. Love y'all. Peace.